Amazing. That was awesome. I hope you guys are pumped up. We are so thrilled to welcome you to the second ever Lunchbox Keynote. I can see so many folks in the audience. We've got some of our amazing customers, tons of exciting high growth restaurant brands, and of course, many of our fellow food tech people. My name's Alex. I'm the Director of Marketing here at Lunchbox. And today I'm really excited for you to learn more about what we've been cooking up over the last year. During today's keynote, our team will unveil LUNCHBOX 2.0, the most comprehensive platform for restaurants to date, engineered to help you grow revenue, automate customer expansion, and elevate your digital guest experience from end to end. We've got a super exciting agenda lined up. We're going to begin by hearing from Lunchbox's Chief Executive Officer and founder. He'll be joined by some very special guests for a thought-provoking discussion on the state of the restaurant industry today. We'll then move into what you've all been waiting for, the unveiling of LUNCHBOX 2.0, which will include some product demos. We'll talk about some of the latest and greatest features and really showcase what's different about what we brought to you all today. And then towards the end of our time together, we'll share more about how you can actually get access to LUNCHBOX 2.0 and ultimately how we can help you level up your tech stack. And with that, let's dive in. Welcome to the virtual stage, Nabil Almagir, CEO and founder of LUNCHBOX. I want to see some energy in that chat. Let's give Nabil a warm welcome. Nabil, thank you so much for being here today. I'll pass the mic over to you.
Alex, we talked about this. Do not say my last name. I want to be the poor man's Beyonce of the food tech space. So cut it out. Cut it out with the last name. Thank you so much for organizing this event, Alex, and the incredible team here at LUNCHBOX. You will see very few of us, which is unfair because there's so many engineers, product people, designers, and incredible people who have done some incredible work to put this together. So we represent them, and we're here to honor them. And more importantly, let's get to our next slide so we can tell you why we all have been working so incredibly hard. This is our mission, everyone. Our mission is to support and help the people who feed the world. You know, it's that simple to us. Running a food tech company is hard. And it makes it easier when the mission is so universal and so meaningful, and we are helping, you know, the biggest labor force in the country, the restaurant industry, and the people that work and run those restaurants. So this is our mission, and I would love to hear from two incredible people and jump right into our panel and invite Savneet on stage, CEO and president of PAR, and Andy Hooper, CEO and founding partner of Hart House, and previously he was at and Pizza. So I'm really excited to hear from these two gentlemen. We'll let them jump on stage. Savneet, who might have the best beard in the game, which makes it hard, which made him almost not qualified to come join us, because I take pride in mine, but he's crushing it over there. And Andy Hooper, building great brand to great brand. Hang out with celebs now, Andy. You have time for us regular people, I see.
This is where we make things happen, right? If the mission's to take care of the people who feed the world, that's us. We're on that mission with you, man.
Thank you too so much for joining us. Would love to get a quick intro from the two of you for the 5 people or the 2 people who don't know you guys, but would love to hear a little bit about your journey into food.
Go for it, Andy.
Oh, okay. Well, so thanks, Nabil, for having me. Savneet, great to share the virtual stage with you, man. So I'm a lifelong restaurant guy. I've been working my way towards this moment, Nabil, for a long time, as you know, from our conversations together. Spent time learning restaurants with Burger King for a decade, building and growing restaurants with a group out west called Cafe Rio for about half a decade, building what I thought was restaurants of the future, both from a tech and product and sort of positioning standpoint with the And Pizza team. And now teaming up with Kevin Hart and a really great team of investors that includes Michael Rubin, who you guys have probably seen all over the news the last couple of days too, to reimagine what the future of restaurants should be. And so Hart House is tomorrow's burger joint. Everything down to how we hire folks, how we think about the employment experience, what's in the center of the plate, and what our mission field is for the community, which is to bring plant-based food to the people. So happy to be here today, man. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Savneet, would love to hear from you too.
Yeah, beautiful. It's hard to follow that, but PAR is a 50-year-old company that in many ways has been reinvented the last few years. At the core of what we do is this belief that for enterprise restaurants to be successful, they need a unified experience, and that unified experience connects all of what they do. And a lot of what we've learned over the last few years as people, of a mix of people who came from the restaurant industry and those from outside the industry, is there's so much amazing innovation, but bringing it together is still the hard part. And so we're really focused on this idea of giving power back to the enterprise restaurant so they can actually focus on customer experiences instead of being a vendor manager.
That's amazing. Savneet, Andy, thank you so much for joining us. We'll get right to it. I'm going to start soft, easy questions first. Really quickly, rapid fire, last meal on earth. What would that be?
Oh, for me, it's easy. I love buffalo wings, so I'd pick one of the buffalo joints.
Cool.
Probably Duff's, but
buffalo wings for you, Andy?
There's no question. It's pizza.
It's pizza. Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I thought you have contractual maybe obligation to say, burgers now, but all right, there you go, pizza.
No, it's pizza.
Any region in particular, Andy?
I'm an equal opportunity offender when it comes to pizza, man. Like one of the things we talked about for a lot with my last gig was that there's different use cases for pizza. So yeah. I think maybe right now I'm in the Detroit style pizza joint. Shout out to the guys at Via 313, by the way, if you guys haven't checked them out down in Austin. So
love it. Well, listen, there's so many operators here, and they like myself. I'm always calling Savneet, always calling you for advice, and thank you for picking up the phone call. So let me ask you something I've asked you guys privately many times, which is what's the biggest challenge facing the restaurant industry right now? What are you guys hearing from an operator's point of view and someone who supports from the technology side?
Yeah, I think
you go.
Yeah, from an operator's perspective, I mean, you open up the news, you see all the challenges that the industry is facing. I think one of the things that was laid bare as a result of the last 2.5 years is that there's a ton of foundation in the restaurant industry that has to be reimagined. The million people left the industry and not all of them have come back to work in it. I think that speaks to the fact that the employment value proposition for a lot of folks was not there, and restaurants were not making good on their end of the bargain about what it means to come work for a restaurant company. And I think obviously everybody is challenged with supply chain challenges. You hear labor challenges. For me, all of that just comes back to this is a really interesting and foundational time for restaurant leaders to completely reimagine what this can be. Like you're never going to have a better time to be unconstrained, whether that's your tech stack, how you treat your people, what's in the center of your plate. And I think we'll look back decades from now as this is a pretty pivotal moment for big structural changes in the restaurant industry.
Absolutely. Savneet?
Yeah, maybe I'll neutralize on top of that, but I think we've had this sort of existential crisis with the pandemic leading to an enormous set of innovation and implementation of technology that brought years in the future. But underneath that, I still think is this great change, which is the consumers that restaurants serve are fundamentally different. They really do expect you to have an amazing in-store experience, but they want you to be Amazon.com and they're not there. And it's almost like if you were in an Amazon warehouse and you're like, okay, now I also want a 3 Michelin star experience in this warehouse. That's sort of what the unfair juxtaposition on the operator. And I think we're still coming to terms what exactly that means and how you can keep that sort of culture, feel, emotion of that in-store experience and still have that off-premise and not let one sacrifice the other. I don't think we've figured out that balance yet.
That's awesome. Any brands you guys are looking at and are impressed by or emulating? I'll give you guys time to think, but I'll go first. Mine is simple, which is And Pizza. And Andy knows this. I called Andy before I started Lunchbox saying, hey, I think we want to do this. And when I called him, he said, I love it. I wish we were not doing all of that in-house. And I was so blown away that they were investing so much in technology. So I've always looked at them. I've always been inspired by them. Anyone you guys are following closely?
Savneet, you first this time, man.
There's tons. I mean, I think I love what Kava Grill has done in sort of taking back control of their tech stack and what they're building. Obviously, I think I sort of think that this sort of move towards loyalty and valuing individual customer versus a geography. We see amazing work by customers ours like Mod Pizza, but I also think like there's still so much inspiration for me from the really big guys. I think when I look at McDonald's, an organization of that size that still spends as a percentage of R&D more on R&D than any other restaurant chain, that's a big commitment, right? That's an organization that can say, hey, we're going to cut back on tech and sort of like we can still, our mode is big enough, but that sort of constant obsession of trying to get better, I'm so inspired by that. Now, again, there's lots of bad stuff, I'm sure, but anyone who's sort of spent time with the data team at McDonald's will tell you they're incredible. And so I love organizations that aren't scared to be disrupted, disrupt their own business. And so I take lots of inspiration from them and obviously Chipotle and others, but from our customer base, I find almost everyone to be exciting and around the edge, but those are a couple I think particularly interesting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think all of those names, McDonald's in particular, Savneet, like as a brand that keeps investing in that way. I think there's a company out in the Bay Area in San Francisco, Starboard, Aaron Novoshin, Culinary Edge have been incubating this for a long time. I think one of the things they mentioned a long time ago that really struck me is this truth that like the drive-through, for example, which everybody's competing for today as part of that off-premise experience where they want the Amazon.com version of that, Savneet, to your point. They've been reimagining this and thinking about the drive-through not having to wrap around the building. And this idea that the fact that the drive-through stack is wrapped around the building has been sort of blown up by Chick-fil-A, by In-N-Out and others. And I think it's just proof of the fact that there's a lot of antiquated thinking in restaurant leadership out there that sort of says, well, we should just do an incrementally better version of something that already exists. And I can't wait for a future where that drive-through is completely virtual and completely geo-fenced, and restaurants are able to fire food when it makes sense. And that, you know, a car that just wants a shake gets it before the car with 4 kids and 4 kids meals, because that's what makes sense operationally. And that's how you deliver that Michelin quality experience. So I love what Starboard's doing. And like, I'd be remiss if I didn't make this point, Nabil. The reason I came to Hart House to do this thing with Kevin is that I think a lot of innovation has to happen across the board. And so I love the way that my team is thinking about this with no bounds for what the future of this industry can be.
That's awesome. I'm a big Kevin Hart fan, especially the stuff he does on the entrepreneurship side. So awesome to see him dabble into food and do it so meaningfully and thoughtfully, because we've seen so many examples of it not being done so well.
Totally.
I think the last question is a little selfish. And Savneet, this one's for you and I. Like, what are we missing as food tech companies? How can we improve as an industry? And Andy, you're the customer. Like, would love to hear from you as well on what can food tech do a little bit better, a little bit more. Who wants to go first? I have obviously a list of 100 things we need to improve. Does anyone want to take the mic?
I'll do it and take the risk of getting beaten up by Andy. I think there's. If you step back, I think the last 5 years, you've had this explosion in restaurant technology. You've literally had unicorns being built, restaurant tech founders becoming billionaires. It's an incredible scene, right? I mean, 10 years ago, Andy probably can attest to this more than you or I can reveal, but restaurant tech wasn't sexy. It wasn't cool. It wasn't something you talk to VCs about. You didn't get invited to cool events. And all of a sudden, you had this incredible growth. But in many ways, I think that restaurant technology growth has come at the expense of the restaurant and not to its benefit. Because I think if you went to CIOs and CTOs and said, hey, is your life better now? I'm sure most of them I kind of liked it back then. And so I think that, to me, what we've failed as an industry to do is make it simple, make it usable. And in many ways, I feel like we've made our customers less in control of their own destiny. I find a lot of their time is trying to get, hey, can you work better with this guy and this guy and this guy, as opposed to them having control to have that run that experience themselves. And so, as I said in the beginning, I worry that our customers become vendor managers of different technology pieces, as opposed to like, okay, what's the experience I want to create? And so I do worry that the industry has grown, but we haven't yet served the customer base we were built to serve.
That is so honest and so brutal. I totally agree. Andy, tell us what are you thinking? What do you need?
Yeah, I think to build on what Savneet said, I think one of the things that restaurant operators need to do is they need to get clear about what problem they're trying to solve in service of delighting the customer. And a lot of times you end up sort of falling in love with these amazing, sexy, great user interfaces for tools that are out there in the restaurant tech space. And they may not actually be solving the business processes that need to be solved. And I think one of the sort of savory byproducts of a lot of this proliferation in food tech is that like the user experience for folks in the digital sphere of restaurants was so poor for so long that now things with an incredible user interface, but not real business process problem solving underneath, end up part of that Jenga, or that plug and play piece that Savneet's talking about. You got to work better with this person, you got to do this, and it's turning technology leaders in the space into vendor managers. I think it's incumbent upon restaurant operators to step back and just say, what am I trying to solve? Like, where's the friction I'm trying to remove? And is this in fact better for the customer? And that's where I think food tech providers can be even more effective in supporting their clients, is really challenging them. Instead of selling them the next thing, the next product, challenging them to be crystal clear about what business process they're trying to improve, and then saying, I do or don't have the tool that's going to help you do that.
I totally agree with you guys. And being a little bit of each, operator for a little bit and a tech person for a little bit even less, I feel like we are still having conversations that are around POS and ordering and the tools itself, but not past the conversation, which is how do we help Andy's new location, which doesn't need any new guests, by the way, because lines out the door, get more guests, right? How do we help these businesses grow? So I really appreciate you, Savneet and Andy, for jumping on. I know how busy you two are, and can't believe you guys agreed to do it. So thank you so much for taking a couple of minutes out of your time to speak to all the restaurant people that have been meaning to hear from you and learn from you guys. So thank you so much. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Nabil.
Take it easy, guys. See you
See you
soon.
later.
Pleasure. That was awesome. I call them often. Andy was a chief people officer at one point, so whenever I need advice there, I'm calling Andy. And Savneet has been so wonderful to Lunchbox and to myself. Besides the magnificent beard, if you will. With that, let's keep moving. I know why you guys are here. You guys were here to meet them, and you wanted to see 2.0. So let's go ahead and move towards that. Before we do that, let's talk about our vision. What do we want to be known for? What's our tagline? What is the one sentence I want you guys to take away about Lunchbox? We are the only online ordering and engagement company that helps restaurants grow. That last word matters to me more than being an online ordering company, more than being an engagement company. We want to help restaurants grow. We want them to meet new customers. We want them to meet existing customers. We want them to make more money. That's what we want. For us to go ahead and build a set of product, we wanted to go ahead and look at the key challenges we believe the restaurant industry is facing. So to do that, I'm going to bring on our Chief Operating Officer onto the stage. He has been an incredible partner to myself. He has been here almost a year now. He's aging like the post-presidency photo of Obama versus before. He was a handsome Kenyan man, and now he is no longer. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and hand off to Kieran, and we'll hear a little bit about the pain point the industry is facing that we have discovered.
Well, thank you, Nabil, for that completely unscripted intro that I appreciate, if you will. I want to start by harking back to Andy and Savneet. They sort of stole my opening line, which is that it's not a secret that restaurant operators have had to deal with clunky tools and technology. And so to dig deeper into that, we actually went back and reviewed all the notes from all the customer conversations we've ever had, looking for the themes of what are the big things that operators are facing. We found three big things. The first is that the first big challenge is the lack of brand identity. Here's what restaurant operators said to us. My online ordering site is ugly. I can't offer online ordering that is branded to meet my in-store experience. And hey, my parents are restaurateurs too. They were proud to welcome guests as they were visiting us at home. And of course, they would have wanted to take that same sense of pride in the online experience. And for the capitalists out there, there's business sense to this because we want our customers to remember us, to come back to us. So that first big pain point was around the lack of brand identity. The second one was around a disjointed tech stack, right? This sort of piece around vendor management that Andy was, or sorry, that Savneet was referring to. Restaurant operators have said to us, I have to manually update my menus across each of my vendors each time. I have to coordinate with all those vendors again every time I want to launch a new location. And this is really annoying because restaurant operators are already stretched for time. They don't have that time to invest to cobble together solutions that actually may or may not, play well together. And so obviously it'd be really nice to have a consolidated solution that brings together ordering, app, loyalty, order aggregation into one place. So that second big pain point was around a disjointed tech stack. And then the third one was around a difficulty in growing their business. Operators said to us, hey, I'm forced to send blanket emails to my entire customer base because I can't actually market to specific segments, or I can't track the results of my marketing campaign to know which one's actually working so I can do more of it, right? And this pain point prevents operators from actually growing their businesses, which is their number one job. And that, obviously that's why we over time have provided tools and services to help operators use data to grow their businesses. So in sum, those were the three big pain points from all the conversations we've had with customers over many years. And we had built LUNCHBOX 1.0 to be that single solution that addresses those pain points to help customers grow. But of course, we're not stopping there. And Nabil, I will pass it back to you to share our journey to 2.0.
Kieran, thank you so much for laying those pain points for us. I think Kieran started that process during his interview process before he said, consider joining us. And he's never stopped listening to those customer calls and recordings to see, what it is saying. And that's what we have discovered, that those are the three things we as an organization have solved, but continue to need to solve. So we've built some incredible things. We built a 1.0 and we went on a run. We went on an incredible run to support many, many logos and many, many wonderful restaurants in our neighborhood. We have supported logos like Firehouse Subs that you'll see on the next page. Logos that have anywhere from 1,000 location like Firehouse Subs to a 2-unit location like Inde, right? Where, I used to love Go Grab Brunch before the pandemic in Nomad. So we have all ranges of restaurants, and I'm so excited and so proud that we get to support restaurants of all kinds. Any restaurant that's trying to express themselves, that is trying to go ahead and have a all-in-one solution, and be a incredible company that is tech focused to help them grow. We're there for them. We've supported them, right? And just to tell you how much we've supported them, 72 million orders were processed by LUNCHBOX 1.0. It's no small feat, right? 72 million orders were processed. We found a niche with a group of people that have not been heard, and we're looking for something more, and we were there for it. And the next slide is the most important slide I'll show you today, which is we have saved the restaurant industry over $61 million. That is that instead of going into Grubhub's pocket, that has gone into pockets of restaurateurs, of the people that work in those restaurants, and that makes us incredibly happy. That is so much pride. That is why we do what we do. That is why our entire company is working around the clock to even make it better with 2.0. So what I've said so far may sound like achievements. They may sound like, oh, cool accolades. But to us, that sounds like a lot of data, a lot of feedback, right? We don't see 60 million in savings. We see how could we have done more. We don't see 70 million orders. We see a lot of things that could have gone even faster, even better. So we've taken all of that and we have built something together. We've built something better and together with our current customers, with a lot of people who said, you guys have to be better. And our customers, the end user, and we have said, we're going to go ahead and build something wonderful, and we're calling that LUNCHBOX 2.0. LUNCHBOX 1.0 ran, so LUNCHBOX 2.0 can sprint. And I'm using that word sprint very specifically. It's an engineering word, and I wanted to go ahead and show some love to our engineers. They have worked around the clock and incredibly hard to make this happen. No one in this company has taken more ownership than our engineers. The top foodies in our company are all engineers, and I just wanted to make sure, among giving shout outs to a lot of people, these are the people that we highlight the most because they have worked tirelessly. So we're in debt to them. So with no further ado, enough teasing. Drum roll, please. Can someone do it? No one can do it. All right, drum roll. Let's just go to the video. Let's just introduce 2.0. We're tired of hearing from me. I hate going after videos like that because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? Right? It's hard. It's like following a great comic. I wouldn't know anything about that either. But it's hard. It's hard to follow the incredible work and the incredible sizzle our teams put together. So I wanted to show you this slide. So we can go ahead and orient around what are the 6 things we offer to solve the 3 pain points Kieran mentioned earlier today, right? The 3 pain points, let's remind everyone. We want to express ourselves. We want a all-in-one solution as much as possible. And then we want to we want to grow. We want to meet new customers. We want to repeat business with our existing customers. Can you help us do that? These are the 6 offerings we have. Some of them are upgrades, some of them are new that we are offering to solve and make the industry better. This is LUNCHBOX 2.0. And let's go ahead and go really quickly over the 6 of these. I'll bring Hadi on stage to walk through them. I was wondering who will not stop talking about our product? Who is a better person to go ahead and chat through some of our offerings? So I'll invite co-founder Hadi on stage. And as he's joining in, I'll go ahead and line these 6 things up. We're going to talk about app and web ordering. We're going to talk about catering, holiday season's around. We're going to talk about the tools you can use to grow, and then UI UX as well. So Hadi, welcome on stage. Where are you? Did you leave? Hadi found out this morning he's speaking, so I do want to give him some grace with tech support. And if he's not here, I'll just do his slide. Like I'll just do it, no problem.
I'm right here.
I will skip you for free, but if you have tech problems, I'll do it with joy. All right, Hadi, you here?
No tech. I'm here. No tech problems, sir.
Okay, awesome. Hadi, tell us about all the incredible things we've built. Tell us why people, what was great about it, but more importantly, what are the upgrades we have made? So take us through web and app ordering.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for the intro there, Nabil. Hey everyone, my name's Hadi, one of the co-founders at LUNCHBOX, and Nabil talks a lot about fast cars here and building a great engine at LUNCHBOX. And one of the things that we really wanted to focus on for you guys was a really good web order experience that can promote a 42% faster checkout from 1.0 that gets customers in, gets customers checked out so they can come in and pick up their food or get it delivered, which is fantastic, while keeping some of the great features like social sign-on, signing in with Apple, signing in with Google, and allowing customers to check out as quickly as possible, and keeping your brands and logos in there so you can have that personal connection with your customers. And there's no better way to do it than to show it. So I'm going to share my screen here and walk everyone through it. So alrighty. And whether you're someone like Vibe Health Bar, you're offering amazing juices, right? And maybe you want to buy Detox. These are really nice photos, by the way. Yeah. Maybe you want to buy Detox. You can easily do it and add promos and rewards on your way to checkout. Include utensils if you need to. And if you want to do, and if you love burritos, maybe you can jump in and look at Honest Taquerias, right? Amazing photos. Sometimes you might want to do a Detox and a burrito at the same time. I definitely do.
You said Detox like 4 times. Are you trying to tell us something?
I'm actually getting married next month, so yeah, trying to lose as much weight as possible. So definitely ordering some Vibe Health Bar after this. But when we're trying to have a little bit more fun, and maybe you're a great salad company, and you can maybe build something like this. Now, just to caveat, this is not our ordering site. We're kind of having a little bit of fun to showcase how you, just like Sweetgreen, can use these ordering platforms to bring out the best of your ordering experience. And while this is desktop and it's great for me to order this while I'm at work, sometimes you might want to order on the go and you might need a really optimized mobile experience. So why don't we jump into app and show you what are the best features that are coming with us to 2.0.
Love that. That was awesome. Hadi, you're muted.
Yeah, that's super exciting to see, and especially knowing features, some of those tried and true features that you love, like our marketing carousel, having that come over from 1.0 to 2.0 is super exciting to see as well. And the next thing we want to kind of jump into is our catering platform. Maybe you're not ordering for yourself, you're ordering for your friends. Or, if you're Elizabeth Blunt in chat and you're, maybe offering someone great salads for Super Bowl instead of wings, right? You want to use our catering product. Our catering product it's been a lot of conversation. And Kieran, who was on here earlier, got a lot of feedback from our customers that we were missing some key features. And some of those key features were adding repeat orders, so you can easily allow customers to repeat the same order again, adding customers to edit orders if they need to, right? And we got to work. We got to work, and what LUNCHBOX did was we went back and we built repeat ordering and being able to order, edit orders when someone places an order through our dashboard. So Nabil, if you ever place an order through the LUNCHBOX catering dashboard, I can now call you and say, hey, Nabil, it looks like you're missing some cookies. I'd love to upsell you on that, all through our one ordering dashboard for catering platform.
I love that, because most chains have a catering manager, and they want to call and upsell. They want to, make it more special. Maybe it's a birthday or anniversary. So I remember as an operator, it was really hard, because when the order went through, the kitchen made it. There was no way to make adjustments. So this is awesome. This is great. Love that we have listened to our customers and made so many awesome changes.
Absolutely. And you can do it all through one dashboard, which is even more exciting. And well, the next thing is probably the most exciting of all, because it's a feature that we've never had before, and that's order aggregation. For those of you in the chat wondering, what is order aggregation? It's the ability to take third-party orders and put them inside your point of sale system. Now, the reason why this is so exciting is, for the first time ever, you'll be able to build your menus the way you want to build them. And our system will use our smart menu structures capability to adapt that menu to all third-party platforms without having you customize it. And being able to real-time menu edit these orders, right? It gives you a lot of flexibility as an operator, as a shift supervisor, even as a counter staff, right? Now, all of this, all the ordering products that we've talked about so far, we've talked about web, we've talked about app, party order management. It is all powered by the same ordering engine. And what does that mean? That same ordering engine can now help you do things like global throttling. So you can control your guests' expectations about when they should arrive and receive orders across third party and first party. And that is probably the best thing that we're bringing over to 2.0. Now, Nabil, we did talk a lot about how to generate orders and generate all this customer data, which is super exciting. But I think we've got to tell people, what do you do with the customer data now that you have it? And I think there's no one better to tell them about it than Alex. Alex, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Hadi. Really great to know all about our suite of ordering across app and web, catering, etc. But ultimately, we want to grow your business, and we're going to do that through these next two products we're talking about. And first up is loyalty. With LUNCHBOX 2.0, our loyalty platform, you get access to Starbucks level loyalty. That means you're going to generate 3 times more across a customer's lifetime and really turn your guests into brand loyalists. So you want your guests, and you want to give them a reason for your guests to buy more often. And LUNCHBOX loyalty helps you do that. So with our platform on loyalty, you can unify both your off-premise and on-premise loyalty programs. So things like easily uploading a receipt or scanning a QR code so that guests can redeem offers wherever and whenever they choose to interact with your brand. In addition to that, we also provide the ability to integrate with over 100 industry-leading food tech providers. This is super important because if you're using our web or app ordering, you can actually integrate with providers like Punch and Paytronics without the hassle of building that integration yourself. We take care of that for you. So with further ado, let's take a look at the LUNCHBOX 2.0 loyalty platform. Amazing. Wow. Did you guys see my name up on there? It's like it was my loyalty program. I love that. Next up, I want to talk about marketing CRM. So I'm director of marketing at LUNCHBOX. This is near and dear to my heart. Our latest innovations when it comes to our marketing product suite really allow you to directly engage with guests with personalized messages, from emails to push notification text messages, really generating higher engagement than ever before. So you can use our marketing CRM to easily segment your customers. So delivering that personalized message at the right time to the right person to really gear up for the right result. With LUNCHBOX, you get access to over 40 data points, which you can use to create the right custom communications and ultimately drive repeat orders. It comes down to wanting to grow your business, and marketing, of course, is such a great way to do that. So let's take a look at the product in action. We've got a demo from our very own Rachel McPhail, one of LUNCHBOX's studio leaders. Let's hear it from Rachel.
Hi, everyone. This is Rachel here from LUNCHBOX Studio team to show you how you can make a targeted campaign in under 2 minutes. Today, I'm going to use an example of targeting customers that have placed one order, sending them an email automation, encouraging them to place a second order. So we make this extremely easy at LUNCHBOX because we are dynamically flowing in all your customer data from every time that they make a purchase with you. So the first piece here is segmenting your customers. So we're going to find exactly who are those customers that have placed exactly one order today. And as you see here on the side, they've saved all those customers. And then the next step here is creating the automation itself. So there's 4 steps, and the first step is creating the trigger point. So this is basically choosing what is it that the customer has to do in order to be added to the workflow. And in this case, it's placing their first order. So then we go into the workflow builder itself, and this is where you're adding in that communication. So in this case, we want to send an email automation. So we're going to drag and drop it in. And then by clicking on the email option, you can then go add the content, which is the email design, which we'll skip over today just for this demo. You can see on the side here, you have more messaging options. So you can have push notifications as well as SMS, as well as a bunch of wonderful flow controls. So you can really personalize the communication journey. So for instance, if I wanted to say that I only wanted the email to send out 5 days from that first purchase, we can add in that filter there. So once you're happy with the workflow, you then will move into step 3, which is the goal. So this is my favorite piece because you can add in conversion goals and really get a true understanding if the campaigns that you're putting out are actually achieving the goals that you want. So in this case, we want customers to place their second order. So I'm going to say 1 week after opening the email campaign, if the customer places their second order, mark it as conversion, and then you get some really wonderful data coming out of each campaign. And then your last step here is review. So going over everything that you have set up, and if you're happy with it, then you start the campaign and watch the magic happen. So there you have it, a campaign in under 2 minutes.
That's awesome. As a marketer, we know how important segmented communications are, and being able to deliver that rather than blasting the same communication to your whole audience is so critical. So with that, I'd love to welcome Nabil back to the stage to talk a bit more about the UI and UX.
Thank you so much, Alex and Hadi, for introducing all those products. I had one last to add, which is improved UI UX. My team and I debated a lot on this. Is this a product or is this a feature? I don't know. I don't know what it is. All I know is it is very important to me. It is very important to consumers. I think the things we love about restaurants are how they make us feel. And the things we love about restaurants are the bread we break with someone, the conversations we have, the places we visit, even in the same city, but it takes us away from, you know, our day-to-day. And I think that is incredible. And I think a lot of that is lost when you order from home. I think you're less forgiving to your favorite restaurants when you order from home. And I think that's because so much of that in-store experience is lost. So we've worked on an incredible new UI UX. You've seen it throughout all the videos, and that matters. That matters to me a lot. It is as important as anything else for us. So I think the stories restaurants have are one of the most important assets that they can offer, and we want to go ahead and empower them to, tell those stories again. So that's a little bit about improved UI UX. And let's move to the next slide, where there's a lot. If you go to our website, you'll see the side-by-side comparison. There's a long list. This might not be legible for some of you. There's a huge list of things we're doing now that we've not done in 1.0. Example is, before we had 0 auto aggregator. Today we have 5. Right? Example is, we had 3 POS in LUNCHBOX 1.0. Today we have 14. Right? Example is, we were only supporting mid-market restaurants maybe. Today we're supporting a one-off to 1,000 unit restaurant. If you're a ghost concept, or if you're a 1,000 unit chain, you're all welcome at LUNCHBOX. So the delta between 1.0 and 2.0 is massive, and I think a lot of that may be lost here on this this quick bite-sized keynote, and I'm fine with that. But I just wanted you guys to know, go to our website, look at all the details, all the changes. We get as detailed as possible. With that being said, I'd love to invite Luke Wood on stage. I'm so excited to invite him. He is an absolute legend, former president of Beats. As you guys know, Beats by Dre, incredible company of our time. More importantly, hey Luke, how you doing?
Hey Nabil, how you doing?
Hey, good. I'm just introducing you, and the list is long, so I'm gonna do a little bit, and then you do the rest. But he was also, obviously sold Beats to Apple, joined Apple at 2014. Before that, chief strategy officer at Interscope, president of DGC. More importantly, he worked with Rise Against the Machine and Nirvana, guys. That's all that matters. Forget about everything else. That's all that matters. Luke, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And first of all, congratulations on 2.0. That's a Herculean task, and one incredible thing from you and the team to just an amazing day.
Thank you so much. It is an amazing day, and it's only better with incredible product people like you to join us and spend some time with us. I'm sure some people are confused on why you're here. Are you in the food business now?
I'm about to be in the food business. Yeah, I started my career at 12 years old. Basically, I fell in love with the Beatles when I was 8 and loved the Beatles. But when I was 12, I heard The Clash, and I immediately, within a day, I think I went and bought a guitar, started playing guitar, and like a lot of us, I just got consumed with my passion and fell into the music business. And was incredibly fortunate that I was a super oppositional person who really didn't like to join any group at all. And so by 1991, when I left university, I ended up working with Nirvana from Seattle. And it was just a tremendous thing. And that was really my launching pad into the music business. And so for 25 years, I made records, found bands, ran a label. I also ran Digital Universal for a long time. And then what happened, an interesting thing on our path, is that by the mid 2000s, the consumption of music as a construct of commerce was voluntary. So if you guys remember back, basically Napster, and we went from a $30 billion business to a $15 billion business. So suddenly I was trying to figure out, at about 35 years old, what am I going to do? Am I just going to be a smaller part of a smaller business, or do I grow something new? And along with Dr. Dre and Jimmy Iovine, we came up with the idea of Beats. And what we realized is that if we couldn't get people to pay for the music, we could get them to pay for the device they listen to music on. And so then we started Beats around 2007, 2008 was our first headphone, sold to Apple in 2014. And along the way, an interesting thing happened for me, in that what I realized is that I was really in the storytelling business. I thought I was in the music business, but what I realized is working with so many different kinds of artists in different genres, I was really creating platforms for them to tell stories. So then when we started Beats, I never looked at it as a consumer electronics business or a hardware business. I looked at it as a storytelling business. And hopefully I got better at platforming stories. And what's interesting about stories, and that's what brings me to food, is stories. If you're in the story business, you're really in the emotion business, because a good story doesn't end with, I dropped my dry cleaning off. A good story ends with, she gave me a pony and I found out she was pregnant. It elicits an emotion. It's a cash for emotion, right? That's the great songs are a cash for emotion. Food is a cash for emotion. And then when I started thinking about, okay, well, if I'm in the emotion business, what business am I really in? I'm really in the identity and community business, right? Because emotion is a terrain to build personal identity and to build community. And so as I finished up my opportunity around consumer electronics, because we had a great run at Apple, I started thinking, like, if I'm in the storytelling business and I'm in the emotion business, I'm in the community business, I'm in the identity business, where is ground zero for all that activity? Food. And now I'm in the food business.
That is crazy because we're all trying to leave food, Luke. We're all trying to get out of food. You've conquered music, you've conquered tech, and now you want to get into food. I saw a comment. Someone said, "Don't do it. The food business will grab you and never let you go." So you're in the food business. How much can you tell us? And the vaguer the better, because we've talked about this off script. And why pick Lunchbox, like this small company out of nowhere? You've worked with some of the biggest tech companies in the world. Would love to hear a little bit about that. Some plugging would be nice. Some selfish plug for Lunchbox, right?
That's easily done because I'm here. Let me tell you. Well, first, to answer the first question is I think that one of the tests I think about for people is when they travel. What makes them want to go home? What do they miss, right? And if you think about it, you miss food. That's, if you talk to exchange students, it's so interesting. 6 months into understanding their kind of onboarding experience of the new place, or you talk to expats wherever they are in the world, what's the one thing they want to get back to? Food, because it's a cache for emotion. It's the thing that reminds me of their friends, their families, their loved ones. It's all in one place. So when I look at the richest places to tell stories in the world, I've told stories in music. I've told stories through consumer electronics. I've told stories through a lot of above the line advertising, through billboards, campaigns, sponsoring the NBA. But food is the one universal thing that touches everybody. It's the great democratizer. And I think it's just the greatest platform for touching, and telling stories. But now that we have this wonderful connection with our customer through food tech, we actually have a platform for more retention. We have a platform to actually create more lasting relationships with our customers, to do more with the data. And so that really fascinates me because you have this wonderful platform. I used to do about $200 million a year of direct business at Beats, Wow. And so I really understand what the direct business is. I understand the lifetime value of a customer. I understand customer acquisition. I understand churn. And I think if we take all these values of narrative structure and understand performance marketing and apply them towards food, there's a lot we can do. Which leads me to Lunchbox, because, I was very fortunate to work on a lot of firmware and software product at Apple with some, I think, the most talented software engineers in the world. Obviously at Beats, we had our team. They're super great. I really understand how to develop fast, how to iterate, design thinking, learning, understanding, controlling of your data, understanding who your customer is. And so when we were kind of looking around and figuring out how do we want to approach our customer and our businesses from a food tech standpoint, Lunchbox was by far the most passionate, creative, incredible engineering stack, really talented people. But I think most importantly, you understand the problems and the concerns of the restaurant owner, and above all, you really look at them. They are your customer. I feel like I'm your customer. And so collectively we're creating, UI, UX and product that ultimately retains our customer, lowers our churn, drives that LTV, and just creates better experiences.
That's amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind words, and thank you for joining the food tech industry. I think it just got more creative. It just got wiser and just got a little bit more entertaining. So I've seen you take, things that are a concept and make them huge. What do you miss about starting from scratch again? Like you're starting again, you're on ground floor again with this concept that we will not name. But what is it that you, when it gets big, that you lose, that you're excited to go ahead and dabble with again?
What I'm excited is to build a culture and a team of people that do something collectively that's an asymmetrical advantage of what you could possibly do on your own. When I sold Beats, we had over 1,000 people between Beats Music, our music service, and the hardware company. The culture has a culture. It's a different level of scale. But when you start something, it's just shockingly how important those first dozen people are in your business. And I could tell to my fellow entrepreneurs, who are watching this, if you have somebody who's making the rhythm wrong, and I always look, everything I do is through the analogy of a band, because I was in bands forever, right? If the drummer sucks, get rid of the drummer. You'll never make a great record with a bad drummer. It's just not going to happen. And so make sure that team is humming, make sure somebody, doesn't mean they're a bad person. If they're not fitting in your team, they should probably find their career somewhere else. But once you get that solid core team of people, operations, brand, product, all moving in the same direction, it's the greatest feeling in the world. You can do anything.
I love that. That's so awesome. If the drummer's not great, get rid of them. You know how many drummers you have fired today? Do you understand? like record. At least 2 drummers will be fired today because of you, because of those
If it's
words.
only 2, I'll be disappointed. Let me tell you.
I hope it's more. I hope it's more. I hope it's a lot more drummers. I hope you have. I hope there's like there's a big pattern. And what happened that day? They go back and it's like Luke was crashing drummers.
The funny thing is that what generally happens is they find the band where they are great. You know what I mean? Everyone has a place in life, and so you just got to help people everyone find their spot. And and that's happened many, many times. I can't even tell you. Somebody won't work in one band, and then a month later they're on tour with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and they sound amazing. And I'm like, yep, that's the band you should have been in.
I love it. All right, last question, and be as cryptic as possible. Are you ready? What can we expect from this concept? What can you share? As lot as possible. And I know you can't disclose much, but what are we to expect?
No, I mean, I think probably anyone hearing me speak thinks this guy has no idea what he's getting into, and there's so much to learn. So I'm excited to learn. But for me and the partners I'm working with, it's about world building. We want to build worlds around the experience of food. And that has everything to do with the actual physical space and the physical experience, but also with the food tech. And it beats, those of you who are familiar with the brand, my idea was basically, we don't follow culture. We don't reflect culture. We create culture. And we had something called always on. We are always on. We're always storytelling. We're always talking to our customer, our constituents. We're always building identity in our brand. And so I want to take all those attributes and put them towards food product, make it hyper emotional, and we'll see what happens.
I love it. Look, so much more to come. I'm so happy we get to do this together. We get to be a small, tiny cog in this new thing you're building, and I know it's going to be great. Just if history is anything, it's just going to be great. So thank you for letting us be a small part of it.
Well, I will close with saying you're a major part of it. It's a huge piece of it, because right now that's how the world talks to our customers. The average attention span of a human being is 9 seconds. People spend on a website an average of 8 seconds. What do they spend in a food app? 15 minutes, something like that. Wow. I mean, you probably know the data. I think it's ridiculously long, right? We have our customers captive for so long. How are we making them feel? And LUNCHBOX is the tool and the platform for which we're doing that. So it's a key part of our storytelling.
Look, thank you so much. You are a legend. We really appreciate you. Thank you so much, sir.
Take care.
All right. Wow. That was great to hear from, people who are, a lot of operators going into tech, and to see a lot of tech people come into the food space. I think it's just going to make our space so much better. We'll keep moving. We have 6 minutes to go. We're going to keep moving. We have 2 more products. We have 2 more products. There's a lot of food tech people. There's a lot of people who are founders and operators at food tech company. I would love to launch 2 very important products for them, because we win if they win. Right? Too long has the food industry fought each other, gated each other, blocked off each other, charged things to each other to not let small companies win and help the industry be better and make the industry open. So let's look at our product offering. Let's go to the next slide really quickly. You've seen the 6th product we are offering to restaurateurs up top. Forget about that for a second. Let's go to the bottom. We have 2 offering for the food tech community, because we're here to not only go ahead and be a second mover to a lot of ordering company that has convinced a lot of people that you need, loyalty from X, ordering from Y, and something else from somewhere else to win. There's a lot of ordering companies that have convinced you of that, and you will believe it. We're telling you that is wrong. That's what we're telling you up there, that you can have a best-in-class all-in-one solution. And we're here to go ahead and build that for you, and for a long time, for many years to come. But we want to help our partners as well. What are the 2 things partners are looking for? They wish they had their own ordering. We're going to white label LUNCHBOX, offer it to them so they can go ahead and provide their product. Maybe it's marketing related, maybe it's delivery related, whatever it may be. They are being kept outside and not being allowed to play and help the restaurant industry. So we're going to white label our solution and offer it to all our partners. If we do our job right, they don't have to know we exist. So this is something that we're going to go ahead and launch for all restaurant partners. Next, we're going to make the industry open. Too long has, what are you integrated with? I'm not integrated with X, so I can't really service you. And a lot of restaurant partners have failed. A lot of restaurant tech partners have failed because of this. We've struggled with this in the past. So what we've done is, over the last 3.5 years, we have 100+ integrations. Right? All top POS, all top marketing tools. What we're telling you now is, if you integrate with us, a single integration, you can get access to all of them, right? We're going to go ahead and open up this industry so we can help who we're supposed to help, which is the restaurant folks, and we can come together as a group of people that are now finally speaking to each other. So that's the end of our product offering. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and invite Alex Conson back and let her take over.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nabil. I feel like I still have goosebumps from Luke's presentation between the both of you. That was awesome. Thank you so much. I'm back to answer, hopefully, the biggest question that you might be wondering is, how do you get access to 2.0? When can you onboard? How do you learn more? I want to share right now, we're focusing on all of our amazing clients and existing partners to onboard them to LUNCHBOX 2.0. They're our first priority for accessing this new wave of ordering and engagement tech. And last week alone, we launched over 7 customers on 2.0. So really exciting to see so many brands go live with all of the wonderful things we've shared. But we want to help you get on as well. So if you're interested in learning more, please reach out directly to me. You can get in touch at hello@lunchbox.io. And I can put you directly in touch with a member of our team who can help assess your business, offer personalized recommendations on the different areas where we can really help you grow and kind of get to that next level. So please email me directly at hello@lunchbox.io to get started, and I'll put you on the right path with the team. But with all of that said, I want to say thank you so much to Nabil, Hadi, Kieran, Luke, Andy, Savneet, all of the amazing speakers we've had today for joining us, and of course to our amazing audience. Thank you for being here, for spending your time with us. We hope you enjoyed learning more about LUNCHBOX 2.0, and we hope to see you at another keynote soon. So please stay in touch, reach out at hello@lunchbox.io to learn more, and we will see you at the next event. Thanks so much, everyone.